Hi, I'm Robin Truong. I'm from Laguna Niguel, California, and I marched Pacific Crest from 2013 to 17, OCI Winds in 2015, Dark Sky Percussion in 2018, RCC 2019 and 20, and the Blue Devils in 2019. And I'm so excited to go inside the shot with Russ today.
Hi everyone, Russ Tanakaya here with another edition of Inside the Shot. This week's going to be an exciting show. We've got a very good performer from Southern California who, in a word, I call her Ms. Persistent. When you want to know or teach somebody about never giving up, this is the lady that you've got to go see. So welcome to the show, Robin Truong. So Robin, let's take a look at shot number one. So this is Robin. I think that's at Indianapolis. It's in the semifinal show, I think. Robin is a very accomplished euphonium player. And not only a euphonium player, but at Pacific Crest, I know she was a section leader. She was also a horn sergeant for several years. So she's not only a great performer, but she's an exceptional leader. And in this show, I was really excited to see that Robin had a solo that year. So tell us about that show and what that music was.
Yeah, so that shot was actually from 2017 Pacific Crest, and that show was called Golden State of Mind. And it was about California, but then also the whole idea of the Golden State of Mind is that, it's like your prime, like your best kind of, you're in the zone type of thing. But funny enough, that picture reminds me of one of the most terrifying moments of my life, because I didn't really consider myself a euphonium player for a long, long time. I actually, for a while, would call myself a flute player because that's what I did since I was 6 years old. But somehow I ended up, 5 years deep in this drum corps career, horn sergeant of Pacific Crest. I think I was 18 at the time, and playing this duet, on the big screen in front of a bunch of people, in Lucas Oil. I remember that year I had so much imposter syndrome, and was constantly doubting myself, but at the same time was achieving in a way that my younger self had never even dreamed of or imagined that I could. So yeah, that was just a really awesome moment for me to have.
Let's take a look at shot number two. So this is a picture of Robin in the winter, and I didn't realize, Robin, that you played in the winter because drumline doesn't have very many euphoniums. And so when I went to that performance, I think that was a Dark Sky sneak preview or something like that. And I saw you out there and I thought, oh my God, that's the Pacific Crest horn sergeant. And she's running around the mat. That's got to be a different experience. Tell us why you did that.
Yeah, so actually I have always been just a huge fan of indoor. And you might not know this, but I marched cymbals in high school for 2 years. And I stopped because I had schedule conflicts and stuff. But then my junior year of high school, I actually bought a camera because my whole idea was well, if I can't march drumline with my friends, maybe I can take pictures of them. But then I've always just loved the energy and the intimacy of indoor. And so when Dark Sky announced that they were going to have a Visualine, I jumped on that audition immediately, and I actually was supposed to be on the media team for Dark Sky that year, but ended up marching because they had the position available. And I just was so eager to be on the floor in this activity that I enjoyed watching so much.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Very good. Let's go inside shot number three. So these next two shots are the same season for the Blue Devils. And I really wanted to show both of those because both earned you some national recognition, because the one where you're singing, you're a member of the Blue Devils vocal group, and that was during the individual and small ensemble competition. And you guys were the medalists there. And then that second shot is my favorite Robin Truong shot of all time. I spent a lot of time editing that one just to make sure that it highlighted you, because I don't know if anybody knows the backstory, Robin, but you were with Pacific Crest for 4 years or something like that. And
5.
one year at practice, I didn't see you, and I thought, oh my God, did Robin quit? But no, Robin had made the Blue Devil line. And so it really got to me when I saw you out on the field and I could see you performing in that Blue Devil uniform, because I know it was a goal of yours. So tell us about that whole journey, because I think it's a great story.
Yeah, so I actually started auditioning for the Blue Devils in 2015. Got cut a bunch of times, like over and over and over. And then finally in 2018, I got a call back, but was cut at the January camp. But in 2019, I was able to get a call back again. But at that camp, oh my gosh, I was so nervous. And because 2019 was actually my age out year. And not only that, but it was the bonus age out, because I was going to turn 22 in the summer. And so it was pretty much my last chance to do drum corps ever. And the Blue Devils had been my dream for a long, long time. And I had been cut like 4 times before that. So when it came down to the very last day of auditions, we had our very last visual block, and we were going through like each section in the brass, and the staff called up like, all right, euphoniums, it's your turn. And it was pretty much like, all right, everyone with the, I think like yellow name tag or whatever, all the callbacks come line up. It's, your last chance to kind of prove yourself. And so I was walking over, got in line, and then Peter Beckhart was like, Robin, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, this is for callbacks. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm a callback. And he's like, no, not really. And then I was so confused. But then John Meehan comes over and is like, welcome to the Blue Devils, gives me a handshake. And that was the wildest thing of my life, because here I was prepped for like the most high stakes moment, right? Because it was, the final evaluation. And all of a sudden, like all that pressure just lifted, and I was in my dream corps. And like that was so nerve-wracking, but so awesome. And I still remember like just hugging my friends and everything, and just feeling on top of the world in this most like unreal moment, because it's something that I had looked forward to for so long, but it happened in the most unexpected way. But yeah, and this picture though is one of my most favorites in the world ever. And so thank you so much for capturing that moment, because that's actually the part of the show that right after the ballad, the drum break is about to start, and I had a drum move that just kind of went all the way around the front of the field, and a jazz running, horns not on my face, and I could really just soak in the experience. And I still remember being like in Lucas Oil, looking up at the audience and like really just living drum corps. And that was just a really cool moment for me.
It was a great moment for a lot of people, Robin, because you are the poster child for never giving up. And, even though, I have been associated with Pacific Crest for many years, seeing you strive year after year, trying to better yourself and never giving up, you are a testament, and you should be proud of yourself. And I got to tell you, for all of us Pacific Crest fans in the crowd that night, we were feeling it for you, because we were so proud of you for being out on the field, never giving up, being part of the organization that you really wanted to be a part of, and you kept going back. That most people, I don't think they would have done that. And so congratulations, that's such an accomplishment.
Thank you. I mean, that year was really just the cherry on top of an awesome career. And I definitely wouldn't have got there without all the time and I spent at PT and everything I learned and all the connections I made there. But yeah.
Yeah. I think we have one more shot to go inside. And this is the iconic spice box, right? I don't know what you were doing right there, but I got a feeling there's a story about either you're not supposed to be looking in there or something. Tell us about that.
So that was actually the beginning of the outro of our show in 2019, because that was like He Who Controls the Universe. And at that moment, I am like opening the box, and later on Shay comes and like slams it shut, and that's kind of the big finale of the show and everything. But that, like, our role that year as a Viz ensemble, we were kind of the embodiment of the spice. And the whole idea of that is that it's this powerful kind of element that changes and shifts as like culture changes. And
I remember that show. It kind of blew my mind because the first time I saw you on a visual team made me crazy because I only knew you as being a euphonium player. And then in this edition of RCC, you guys were hanging upside down and dancing and blowing those, horns.
The didgeridoos.
It was craziness. It was a lot going on that year. So it was a fun show to watch.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun show to be in. A lot of moving parts and quite a bit of like almost chaos, but it was a thrill.
Fantastic. Well, Robin, thank you for sharing your journey with us today. And again, I have to tell you, I just have been so impressed. And you are such a motivator for younger players that, drum corps, drumline, it's not an easy activity. And your careers are not just full of successes. And you are a great example of a person that knows what they want to do, puts their mind to it, and doesn't quit. And so I thank you for being here with us today and kind of sharing the story. And geez, congratulations. And I hope we get to do it again soon.
The activity isn't easy, but it's so worth it. And photos like this that you capture, these moments and everything, really help us performers, cherish not only like the moments themselves, but the growth and the progress that we go through. Like, because I feel like every single photo that we saw tonight or today, that was a different Robin every single time. And I'm the person I am who I am today because of what that girl went through. And so I really appreciate the memories that you capture for us. So thank you, Russ.